welcome you to Giant Stadium in the New Jersey Meadowlands on a cold, clear day. In fact, weather conditions could be a factor later on as we get set for the New York Jets and the New England Patriots meeting in this AFC Wildcard game. Marv Albert with Bob Greasy, Pat Leahy getting set to kick it off as we get right to it. The deep man is Stefan Starring. And Starring lets it carry out of bounds. The New England Patriots with a record of 11-5. The New York Jets 11-5. The Jets' first appearance in the playoffs since back in 1982 when they lost the AFC Championship game to Miami. The Jets coming off the victory over the Cleveland Browns last week, while the Patriots beat Cincinnati last week by the score of 34-23 to finish strong. This is the third time this season that these two clubs are meeting, which is most unusual when you come to playoff time and they split the previous two.
Well, Marv, what happens is you know what the other team likes to do. You know the physical talents of the player across from you. It's like playing your neighbor. The one thing you can say about this game, though, it is going to be a very physical ball game.
In Foxborough in October, the Patriots beat the Jets, a game that saw Freeman McNeil sit it out because of a rib injury. And here at Giant Stadium, back in November, the Jets won in overtime on a Pat Leahy field goal from 32 yards away. And Leahy will kick again, this time from the 30. And it takes a tricky hop, fielded by Starring. Starring across the 30-yard line. And the Patriots to the offense. Larry Flowers on the stop of Starring. Here's Tony Eason, who is back as the starter after Grogan broke his leg, in fact, in that game against the Jets. Pete Brock, the center, and one of the key matchups, Brock going against Joe Flacco. Wooten and Moore, underrated right side of the line. They played well. The tight end is Dawson, Irving Pryor, and Stanley Morgan are the wide receivers. First down from the 33. And this is Craig James. And a flag is thrown. Barry Bennett in on the stop. Craig James, who ran for 142 yards against Cincinnati last week. The referee is Jerry Seaman. And the hold against New England.
Marv, the Jets open with a four-man defensive front, which kind of shows you the respect that they have for that running game of the Patriots.
Here is how the Jets match up in this opening series.
Holding, defensive, right end.
And that is the normal three out of the 3-4. Marty Lyons and Barry Bennett will alternate. Bennett bothered by a sprained ankle. And the linebackers, Bob Crable replacing the injured Rusty Gilbo. And Russell Carter reactivated only yesterday. It is a 1st and 20. Tony Collins stopped by Lyons. Lyons had a good one, 7 tackles against the Browns last week. Second down and 16 as Collins picked up 4. And there's head coach Raymond Barry in his first full season with the New England Patriots. This is Collins. Russell Carter on the stop. Pickup of 7. And it'll be a 3rd down and 9.
Second and long, and Eason goes with the running play to Collins. It's a sweep to the left. Gives you a little bit of an indication early on that the conservatism that the Patriots have shown all year is going to continue in the playoffs. The key might be to this game, whoever commits the fewest turnovers will win.
3 wide receivers, Starring, Pryor, and Morgan for this 3rd down and 9. Intended for Craig James. Covered by the free safety, Harry Hamilton. And the Patriots forced the punt. There's Hamilton, who has come on very strong the second part of the season. Rich Camarillo, in his 5th season out of the University of Washington, who has struggled recently, not getting the hang time, will drop back to his 20-yard line. And this is Kurt Sohn, who the Patriots remember for that 46-yard punt return in the overtime victory back in November that led to the winning field goal. Here is Sohn. Good coverage by the Patriots, and flags are tossed. Ed Williams, backup linebacker, the first to get to Sohn. A 43-yard punt on the short return. Sohn went 5, but again here is Seaman. And it's against the Jets. And that is today's officiating crew, headed by Seaman, 11-year veteran.
Illegal block during the return. Number 38, receiving team.
Number 38, Larry Flowers, who is a special teams specialist.
That's 38 right there, blocking above the waist in the back. If he would have blocked below the waist, it would have been clipping, but that's the one that's called so often in the NFL these days.
And the Jets first down from the 16, and O'Brien puts it up and goes to the tight end, Schuler. James pushed him out of bounds. A 7-yard pickup for the man who broke the record held by George Sauer. Most receptions in Jet team history. All right, looking at that offensive line, Reggie McElroy has had his difficulties. He was benched last week. Ted Banker then started and broke his leg. McElroy came on, had problems. The rookie Toon has been outstanding. Page and McNeil are the running backs. Raymond McNeil says he's about 95% with that knee bruise. Here's McNeil, and he is held short of the first down.
Marv, the Jets coming out, going a little bit different on offense, going 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends as we take a look at the defense for the New England Patriots.
And Garen Veras, the rookie from Stanford, replacing the injured Ken Sims. The linebackers led by Andre Tippett, big play man, 16.5 sacks on the year, tops in the AFC. And I should point out right at the start that is now Ronnie Lepet. He has changed the pronunciation, and this took place only a couple of weeks ago. So Lepet and Claiborne are at the corners. 3rd and 1. The Jets from their 26 were just underway. No score in the first quarter. McNeil and Page, the running backs. Schuler in motion. And Schuler could not hold on, looking for that first down and some additional yardage, covered by Nelson and James.
Interesting call. 3rd and 1. Normally you go to your closed formation, but this time O'Brien splits his receivers, takes his time, has plenty of time, and then puts the ball right on the money, and Schuler seemed to be a little bit surprised. Possibly that play was designed to go somewhere else and was not expected to come back to Mickey Schuler.
Dave Jennings, in his 12th season out of St. Lawrence, back at his 10, and he'll punt away to the best punt return man in the National Football League, Irving Fryer, averaging 14 yards per return. He has run back 2 for touchdown. And Fryer had a difficult catch, and things getting testy on the return between a couple of Jets and Patriots. Only a 35-yard punt, but no return. The ball is spotted at the 41. A break right here. We'll be back in a moment. Looking back at the first meeting between these two clubs back in October, with Freeman McNeil sitting it out with back spasms, the Patriots beat the Jets, and this the winning score with 3:27 remaining. It's the veterans Steve Grogan on a naked bootleg, reminiscent of an aging Bob Greasy of the Miami Dolphins.
Grogan used to do a lot of that in his career, but he didn't. He hasn't used it a lot lately, but he pulled it out at the right time.
Patriots first down from their 41. Collins and James are the setbacks. That is Fryer in motion. And it's Collins. Stopped at the line. The ball was jarred loose, but recovered by the Patriots. Marty Lyons in on the tackle.
Klecko 73 and Lions 93. Klecko winning the battle with Wooten 61 allows Lions to make the tackle.
Loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. It's been an outstanding season for the nose tackle, Joe Klecko. And Eason with the swing, he has James. And James with a first down. He stepped out of the 48 in Jet territory. A 12-yard pickup. The strong safety, Kirk Springs, on the bump of James. Also, another flag has been thrown.
12 men on the field. Defense. Penalty decline. First down.
Can't do that. 12 men on the field.
Well, you can do it if you get away with it, but here we'll see the replay. The tight end releases to the inside, and James just swings wide. The outlet receiver for Eason is James. Good block upfield. Now he just gets as much as he can, and Jackson, who had coverage, gets there a little late.
Patriots first down at the Jet 48. 4 minutes gone by. First quarter with no score. And Collins, with second effort, get it inside the 45. Stopped by Lyons and Crable. So Tony Collins getting the bulk of the work in the early moments. And there is 49-year-old Joe Walton out of Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, where he was the second best player ever produced, going on to an outstanding 7-year career in the NFL. And he says the Thanksgiving Day game against Detroit was the only game that the Jets did not play hard. He said the Jets even played hard in losing to the Raiders opening day by that score of 31-0. Play action. And Gastineau able to get to the quarterback. A surge by Mark Gastineau.
I think the key to this game, Marv, for the Patriots is they have to control the line of scrimmage. They have to be able to control Klecko 73 and Gastineau on passes. And you can't do it that way. The back, James, trying to pick up the tall 6'6" Gastineau with a block to his knees. Gastineau just jumped over and makes the sack.
And it was called within the grasp. A loss of 9. Third down, 14. New England from their 48. Eason getting the time and has the tight end, Lynn Dawson. And it looks to be short of the first down. Harry Hamilton keeping Dawson away. A 12-yard advance. And the ball is spotted some 2.5 yards short.
Dawson, the least likely of all the receivers for the Patriots to catch the ball. He only has 16 on the year. And I'm sure, Marv, we talked about it a little earlier, the team's playing twice this year. They know each other. They scouted each other, playing each other. They know who their favorite receivers are. And New England doing a little self-scouting and going to Dawson to try to pick up the first down.
Rich Camarillo coming on for the second time. Back at his 45. That's Kurt Sohn. And Camarillo angles. Spotted at the 13-yard line. A timeout called with 6 minutes gone by, first quarter. Big Bowl Day coming up on New Year's Day and earlier here on NBC in the Citrus Bowl. Ohio State over Brigham Young, 10-7. And the length of the game wiped out the NFL 85 show. The guys show up, don't get on. You know why they're here? They thought they'd have another live audience.
I asked Costas if he's going to get paid for doing this. I mean, it didn't even work.
But it should be pointed out that the Pete Axtell pick is the New England Patriots strongly, outright. He cites their character in coming back despite the injuries suffered by Grogan and Sims. Freeman McNeil, the ball carrier, Blackman and Nelson combining on the stop. Ax will defend his selection at halftime on NFL 85.
Bud Carson getting together with his defensive troops. Comes into the ball game with a defensive scheme, and then once he sees a series or two of the other team's offense, goes over the adjustments that have to be made and say, yes, they're doing what we thought, or no, we got to make this adjustment.
2nd and 7. Jets from the 17. McNeil, the lone deep back. And McNeil out to the 19-yard line. Tripped up by the inside linebacker, Steve Nelson, picked up 2 on the play. Freeman McNeil has not been himself since the ankle and rib injuries. That is until the second half last week against the Browns, and catching the ball, he demonstrated his explosive style. He has not had a 100-yard game in 6 weeks, despite finishing with those very impressive statistics.
Fine receiver and a good runner, but like any good runners, they wear down. O'Brien has to play well today.
Has a 3rd and 5, and in trouble, and down he goes. Let's see, it is whistled dead, no fumble. So Ken O'Brien, who has been sacked 62 times coming in, a National Football League record, is hit down by the master of the sack for the Patriots, Andre Tippett.
Well, the Jets have been going a lot of 2 tight ends, and one of the reasons right here to help them block on these linebackers. 2 men blocked on Tippett. He ran right through them and got back for the sack. But the Jets going with 2 tight ends to try to slow down Blackman and Tippett.
7.5 remaining, first quarter. Jets and Patriots are scoreless, and Dave Jennings will punt from his end zone. Irving Fryer awaits the punt at midfield. It's a good one. Here's Fryer. Flag thrown. Fryer chased down and dumped by Rocky Cleaver. And a penalty marker is down. A 49-yard punt by Jennings. And let's see what referee Jerry Seaman has to say. He looks, keep an eye on him, looks to be transfixed as he makes the call. Has that very unique look.
What do you mean? He just...
Here he is, what?
I can't wait for this now. You got me on the edge of my seat.
Well, now he's... now that's... For Jerry, that's low-key.
Personal foul. We'll take a look at it from the reverse angle. As Fryer tries to go to his right, cuts back left. Rocky Cleaver with the face mask.
Personal foul. Face mask, number 89. Kicking team. First down.
So the ball is spotted at the Jet 44. A timeout has been taken. 7:13 left, first quarter, with no score. A view from the top of the RCA building in Midtown Manhattan, about 8 miles from Giant Stadium in the New Jersey Meadowlands. Patriots take over, first down from the Jet 44. And Eason able to get away and runs for the first down. And some more. Picked up about 10.
One of the concerns by Bud Carson, the defensive coordinator coming into the game for the Jets, was the fact that Eason can scramble. They're worried about his movement in the pocket. Here, things get a little hot. He gets upfield and gets 10 yards for a big first down for the Patriots. There's Bud Carson. Had a nice chat with him yesterday and came out today starting a different style of defense. 4 defensive linemen. The 3rd series now back to his basic 3-4.
First down, Patriots, Jet 34. Here's James, change of direction. Try to cut back inside, gets inside the 35. Gastineau was there. Craig James picked up the yard. He ran for 1,227 yards, second highest total in Patriot history behind Jim Nantz, who ran for over 1,400. That's the first time that James has run the ball. 6.5 left in this first quarter. It has been a feeling out process to this point. Jets and Patriots, no score, leading in this AFC Wildcard game. And Eason with the time and has has another first down. Tony Collins, who caught 52 passes during the regular season, picked up 11 yards on the play. Lester Lyles on the stop.
Both teams very similar coming in, Marv. Both strong defenses as we take a look at the pass protection. Again, controlling the line of scrimmage, a key for the Patriots. A tight end went through, took both the linebackers that were in zone, and Collins found the opening to the outside.
James lined up in front of Collins out of the eye from the Jet 22, first down, and it's Collins following James. Could not make the turn. Harry Hamilton cut him off. A loss of 2 on the play. There's Harry Hamilton in his second year out of Penn State. Out earlier in the season with a shoulder injury. The Jet secondary has been banged up throughout the season.
Secondary and their defensive front ranked number 3 against the rush in the entire National Football League. And that's one of the things they're going to be concerned with here today, stopping the run of the New England Patriots and forcing Tony Eason to throw the football.
Second down and 12. The swing, James not able to hold on. Lance Mell with the hit on Craig James.
Lance Mell, number 56, finally getting the recognition that he deserves. One of the outstanding linebackers in the league. Actually, it was a break for the Patriots that he didn't catch that football, because had he caught it, it would have been for a loss.
Lance Mell making it to the Pro Bowl for the first time. And the crowd urging the Jet defensive unit on. Third down and 12. The Patriots at the Jet 24. Eason completes to the tight end, Lynn Dawson, but short of the first down. An 8-yard advance. Kirk Springs, there he is, number 21, on the tackle.
The second time in the first 7 minutes of this ball game that they have gone to Lynn Dawson, averaging only 1 catch per game, has already caught 2 in the first quarter.
And Tony Franklin will come on to attempt the field goal. Franklin, 24 of 30 on the season. He's hit 6 of the last 7. A 33-yard attempt. Eason will put it down. And it is good. Tony Franklin from 33 yards away. 5:20 remaining in this first quarter. And the Patriots move in front of the Jets by the score of 3-0. Tony Eason checking it out upstairs with the coaches. Tony Franklin completing the drive with a 33-yard field goal. And now Bobby Humphrey and Johnny Hector await the Franklin kickoff. Last year, the kickoff returned a tremendous weapon for the Jets. It has not been this season. That is until last week against Cleveland. Here's Hector. Hector out to the 28. Greg Hawthorne on the stop. Bob, you look back at that field goal by Tony Franklin. This was not a lock. He just did get it in.
Well, you see him using a little body English, and I think maybe it needed every bit, because that ball went right over the top of that bar, and it wasn't in by very much. As we take another look, right at the bar, right over the top, just inside of it, but good enough for 3 points.
Jets first down from the 28. Altoon is out to the right side. That's 82, Mickey Schuler in motion. And O'Brien off the big rush, completes for the first down to Wesley Walker. Don Blackman and Roland James on the tackle. Walker picking up 16 yards.
You know, Marv, one of the reasons it's open, Nelson right here is going to be blitzing, and the receiver is going to get right into this open area, right where it's being vacated by Steve Nelson, the blitzing linebacker. He's coming on the blitz. O'Brien reads it. 2 defensive men there, only 1 to block. The hot receiver is the receiver that looks back for the football when the protection is not there.
First down from the 44. O'Neal. Freeman McNeil cutting to the left side, but could not, off the head fake, make the move on Claiborne and Marion. And Freeman shaken up. He sat out the first game against the Patriots with a cracked rib. Second game, sprained ankle, carried only 5 times for 9 yards, but Johnny Hector picked up the slack.
Got all kinds of problems. Just take a look and see if we can see what's bothering him. He's had an ankle, a knee, a back problem. Can't really tell. He was kind of shaking his head, but he certainly didn't want anybody helping him as he got up, as if to say, leave me alone, I'm all right.
He was asked during the week, how are you physically? He said 95%. Now, someone asked you, how are you? What would be the percent you would put down?
I feel great.
45%? Here's Hector replacing McNeil. 2nd and 7. The Jets from their 47. 4 minutes, 10 seconds left. First quarter. Patriots 3, but Jets nothing. Walker in motion. O'Brien to Walker, but short of the first down. He was ripped by Ronnie Lepet. Notice I have to hesitate. Lepet. He changed the pronunciation. 6-yard pickup.
Ronnie Lepet down in Miami 2 weeks ago with the New England Patriots as they played the Dolphins on Monday night. Everybody, all of his friends, as we take a look at Freeman McNeil, seems to be, all of his friends were calling him Lepet. He said, that's my real name. That's the real pronunciation.
And Hector with the quick hit for the first down. A 3rd and 1, and Johnny Hector able to pick it up. Later on, we'll be selecting the Budweiser most valuable player for today's game. Crowd greeting the return of McNeil. Down to 3 minutes left. This first quarter, and the Jets first down at the Patriot 45.
Early in the season, Marv, the Jets offense really relied on McNeil. They called him their meal ticket, their gold chest, whatever. Now it's seeing a little bit more balance between he and O'Brien.
Off the play action. O'Brien down for the second time. And it's the rookie Garen Ferris, who had 10 sacks during the regular season. In fact, had an excellent game against the Jets back in October with a sack and a recovered fumble. The rookie from Stanford.
Garen Ferris, number 60 from the left side of your screen. Page misses the block on him after the play-action fake, and Ferris, who is not real fast and not real big, has the quickness that it takes to come off the defensive line and get past the blocker.
Patriots feel he should put on some 10, 15 pounds down the road. He's strictly a finesse player, but he used his finesse right there. It sets the Jets back. 2nd down and 22 from the 43. O'Brien with the time and has Schuler. A 21-yard pickup. Blackman on the stop. The tight end, Mickey Schuler, who has been a major force throughout the season.
Schuler starts to the outside. The linebacker looks back into the inside, Blackman, and then he comes back inside. The double tight end that time lined up side by side caused a little bit of a problem. Here you see him right here. He just going to break to the outside and come back in, and that caused a problem for the Patriots.
And the ball spotted just shy of the first down. It's 3rd and about a half yard. Play action. And O'Brien to the sideline for Al Toon. And the first down. Ronnie Lepet on the stop. And the crowd chanting Toon for the rookie from Wisconsin. A 15-yard pass play.
Crowd hollering, Toon, Toon, Toon. The rookie wide receiver from Wisconsin. Now watch him come back for the ball and run away from Lepet at the same time. Cold weather receiver they were very happy to get Al Toon.
First down from the 21. McNeil. Freeman with a whirling move. Stopped by the inside linebacker, Larry McGrew. It's a 5-yard run for McNeil.
It's interesting, Marv, how both teams on third and short yardage have gone away from their tendency to go to 2 tight ends, maybe 3 tight ends. They've gone open formations and thrown the ball down the field. Again, I think something that both teams know about each other from having played twice a year for all these years.
Second down and 5 at the 16. Here's McNeil at the opening, able to cut back. And a first down. Time running out of this first quarter, just seconds remaining. The Jets with their best drive of the day. And that is the end of the first quarter here at Giant Stadium with the score, New England 3, the Jets nothing. And there is Freeman McNeil, who has become a factor. Any surprises at all, Bob, in this first quarter?
The only surprise that I've seen is with the New York Jets. They've gone 3 wide receivers when they have not done that in the past, certainly on first down. And they've gone 2 tight end, 2 wide to kind of get the Patriots' minds off of Freeman McNeil. So many defenses, when they play the Jets, the first thing you want to do is stop McNeil, and the Jets are trying to get their mind off of him.
All right, the Jets on the move as we open up this second quarter. They have a first and goal from the 10. Play action. And O'Brien for the end zone. Touchdown. Johnny Hector. Take a 6-3 lead, and Pat Leahy now attempting the extra point. The holder, Pat Wright, a low snap, but he puts it away. So the snap saved by Ryan. The Jets over the Patriots by the score of 7-3.
The AFC Wildcard game is brought to you by Today's Chevrolet, who invites you to live the style, performance, and fun of Chevrolet in '86. By Stroh's and Spro Light. Now you're talking good times, and Stroh's is spoken here. And by GTE, advancing technology in telecommunications and electrical products.
Cold 29-degree day at the New Jersey Meadowlands. Marv Albert, Bob Greasy from Giant Stadium. Ken O'Brien has hit 5 of his first 5 for 69 yards. He just completed the Johnny Hector, and the Jets lead the Patriots by the score of 7-3. And Leahy has been booting the kickoffs all season, puts one in the end zone. So Stephon Starring not able to run it out. They'll spot it at the 20.
Go back and take a look at the touchdown. Hector is right here. Now he's going to run a route to the corner. Now watch the linebacker right here, McGrew, as he gets caught up and then has to chase. Right there, he thought it was a running play, the play action tight. Hold it right there if he can stop it. Right here you see Toon outside occupying the defensive cornerback so that he will not fall off and help the coverage on Hector. Good, well-designed play for the Jets.
New England, first down from the 20-yard line, and Eason to put it up. Stanley Morgan, who bounced back with a big game against Cincinnati last week, stopped by the outside linebacker, Bob Crable. 5-yard advance. It'll be a 2nd and 5.
No, Marv, both quarterbacks throwing the ball very well. Before the game, the wind was kicking up pretty good, going from right to left, but that has kind of died down now. I'm talking with Rod Russ, the defensive coordinator. He says, I don't know, does the wind calm down as it gets darker? I said, I don't know.
That's a new theory. Tony Collins picking up the first down, 8-yard run. Lance Mel, Marty Lyons combining.
Lines 93 and Gastineau. Gastineau coming upfield. This time the back blocks him well enough. James on the block for Collins to get up inside. But I'm sure that one of the concerns of Gastineau is, as we see him go to the other side, is to contain Tony Eason, not let him get outside the pocket.
First down from the 32, and here's Collins off the delay. So Tony Collins running well. Lance Bell tripped him up. 8-yard pickup for Collins. Last year, Collins was in the Ron Meyer doghouse, and his production dropped considerably. This season, Craig James getting most of the running work, although Collins did pick up 657 yards for the season, and he has been New England's leading receiver. 52 catches for Collins.
And they call him the Blade. He blocks very well, not very big, but one of the reasons James has had such a great year is because of Tony Collins. Very unselfish and a very good blocker.
2nd and 2 at the 40. And it's Collins stopped short of the first down. It's a loss on the play. Bob Crable hit him for a loss of 1. Bob Crable, who's made it back from knee surgery, taking over for the injured Rusty Gilbo.
Number 50 on the left side, plays off of Dawson, plays off of the blocker in front and is there for a piece of the tackle, but Bud Carson saying that Crable was a little bit surprising in how fast he came back from that knee injury and probably will not be a top linebacker until next year.
Third down, 3 from the 39. And Eason lofting one deep for Fryer. Irving Fryer stopped by Johnny Lynn. And Fryer shaken up. A 39-yard pass play.
Take a look at this up here. Going to go straight down the field and run by the defensive back. Man-to-man coverage, as you see. Everybody has a man to cover. Now Eason sees the one-on-one and says, if I've got a one-on-one with that much speed out there, I'm going. It's a good throw to the outside. And a good catch by Fryer.
Irving Fryer has come on very strong in his second season following the injury played rookie year. We'll be right back. Irving Fryer looking a bit dazed. We'll get another look at it. Bob, it appeared that he hit his head as he made that reception. Here it is.
He catches the ball, Marv. Hits his head right there, the front of his head, but he gets up and walks a few steps and then goes down.
Patriots first down from the 22. Play action, and Eason throwing the short route, and it's broken up. Harry Hamilton breaking it up. The pass intended for the tight end, Lynn Dawson.
Eason likes to go to his tight ends. One of the differences between Tony Eason and Steve Grogan. This time the ball is well thrown with good coverage on the part of the Jets.
A 33-yard field goal by Tony Franklin. And O'Brien to Hector on an 11-yard touchdown pass play, but Jets with a 7-3 lead. 3 minutes gone by, second quarter. Craig James stopped. The nose tackle, Joe Klecko. And defensive end, Marty Lyons involved on the stop. The winner today will move on to the Coliseum in Los Angeles to face the Raiders next Sunday. And coming up at halftime on NFL 85, Bob Costas, Pete Axtell, Ahmad Rashad, plus special guest live from Los Angeles, Mark Gastineau's good friend Howie Long, and Mike Haynes to talk about what they've seen here in the first half. Third down and 7. The ball inside the 20. Eason down by Baldwin. There he is, number 95, Tom Baldwin, in his second year out of Tulsa. Second sack of the day for the Jets.
Tom Baldwin in there because of the injured ankle to Barry Bennett. To the left of your screen as Eason looks downfield. There was good coverage. Baldwin spins around. Now, actually, the offensive lineman, Hanna, was blocking Eason's way that he couldn't get upfield. But here's a field goal try from 41.
Tony Franklin, the barefoot kicker Texas A&M from 41 yards away, and he hits it. So Franklin has connected from 33 and from 41. And he has killed the Jets this season. That is his 6th field goal against the Jets. And looked to be a high snap. We saw earlier on an extra point attempt by the Jets, a low snap that was put into place by the holder. Look at this one now, the high snap handled by Eason.
Nice catch by Tony Eason. And Tony Franklin says, this one I don't even have to help with anybody English. I know it's right down the middle. But Guy Morris is the normal snapper on field goals for the Patriots. 2 high snaps so far in the ballgame.
And the Patriots now trail by 1. The Jets 7 and the Patriots 6. The last 3 possessions have seen field goal, touchdown, and field goal. Now Franklin getting set to kick off. Humphrey and Hector are back deep. Bobby Humphrey in his 2nd year out of New Mexico State, and 3-year pro Johnny Hector out of Texas A&M. The Patriots in the playoffs for the first time since 1982. That was the strength-affected season. Actually, that was called the Super Bowl tournament. Here's Hector from the 6 to the 20. And a good return out near the 28-yard line. Hit down by Greg Hawthorne. Right here, let's pause briefly for station identification. This is the NBC Television Network.
This is WMAR TV2 in Baltimore.
Marv Albert, Bob Gracie from Giant Stadium in the New Jersey Meadowlands. The Jets leading the Patriots 7-6 in this AFC Wildcard game. 10:45 remaining in the first half. This is the first ever NFL playoff game at Giant Stadium, and there will be an unprecedented 2 in less than 24 hours. Here's McNeil. Check that, Hector out to the 35-yard line. Steve Nelson on the stop. Hector picking up 8 on the play. This set up by the 23-yard kickoff return by Hector.
The other playoff game here tomorrow, the Giants were out early this morning practicing. Actually, there was a light snowfall early this morning, and they worked out just as the snow was being removed, but it's a fine field, dry, good playing surface for this ball game.
You check out the field. I know you've shied away when the conditions are not to your liking.
Always get down to the field.
All right, Wesley Walker. Stopped by LaFette, but Walker was wide open. And it's a 24-yard pass play.
O'Brien looking around, then throwing the ball inside. There's nobody to the inside. As you see, a broken coverage. The ball would have been thrown a little bit better. Walker could have taken it and gotten a lot more yardage out of it.
Third catch for Walker. And a first down at the New England 41-yard line. Page and McNeil, the running backs. Here's McNeil. And he fumbles. The Patriots feel they have it. Still no indication. It is New England ball. The Patriots have recovered. So Freeman McNeil coughs it up. And Roland James, the strong safety, on the recovery.
Mark, as we take a look at McElroy, 68, having trouble with Julius Adams. Now Adams, no, he didn't knock it out, but the Patriots are number 2 in the entire National Football League in causing fumbles. And another one, the Jets don't turn the ball over very often.
Patriots first down from the 45-yard line. Greg James taking the hit. Marty Lyons, Joe Klecko combining.
Rod Rust in the middle of that defensive huddle, trying to adjust to the different offensive schemes that the Jets are giving to them today, doing some things different. 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends, 3 wide on first down, showing a little bit different look.
It is a second down and 9. James on to fumble. Crable covered up, but the Patriots able to maintain possession. A loss of 4.
Here's Crable, number 50, on a blitz, comes across the line of scrimmage. Wooten passes him up. I don't know why he didn't block him if he was supposed to be blocked by a lineman or a back coming up there. But Crable into the backfield makes the tackle.
Apparently Irving Pryor landed on his head off that excellent catch in the previous series. Is all right. He's lined up in the slot to the right. Third down, 13 from the 42. Eason straight ahead, and that surprised the Jets. Miano and Carl Howard combine on the stop.
Excuse me, Marv. This is one of those goose plays where the quarterback comes up and sees no linebackers in the middle of the field. Now, the man in the middle of that circle, this is an official, so don't count him. He just got to goose him and come right up the field. Take a look. Linebackers are on the outside for coverage. Eason sees it and just says, if I push your rear end, snap it, and we'll go up the field.
So he goosed him. Is that what
he goosed him? He just shoved him a little bit and said, let's get out of here. Normally a defense will cross their 2 tackles there to stop that little ploy by the offense.
Our Jets at 7 defenders, and Eason able to take advantage. However, short of the first down. So here's Rich Camarillo from his 40. And Kurt Sohn is back at his 10. And a good punt. Sohn lets it fly. And it carries in, so it will come out to the 20-yard line. 6:49 remaining in this first half. A 46-yard punt, and we'll be right back. Howie Long, Mike Haynes of the Los Angeles Raiders. They will be facing the winner here today, next week, and they will be discussing what they've seen here in the first half at halftime at NFL 85 with Bob Costas. The Jets first down from the 20, and O'Brien able to complete to Altoon. He is run out across the 25 by Steve Nelson and Raymond Claiborne.
There's Altoon, number 88. Working on Claiborne, starts to the outside and then back in. Says, let me get out of here. I'm going to get to the sideline where it's safe. Reminded me seeing Mike Haynes. He used to play for the Patriots, and Howie Long sitting in the truck. It looked like they were producing a game.
Howie Long is from the Boston area. Second down and 4, and again O'Brien goes short. McNeil has the first down. Nelson on the tackle. Steve Nelson, the heart of the Patriot linebacking corps, and the leading tackler on the club. 128 total tackles.
The heart and soul of that defense. Maybe not the most skilled of those linebackers, but certainly the smartest, and the man that holds them together, gives them the signals, gives them the direction, makes the adjustments, and you don't hear a lot about him. You hear a lot about Don Blackman and Tippett on the other side, but certainly Steve Nelson, fine player in the middle.
And he's made the Pro Bowl for the 3rd time the last 4 years. First down from the 31. And McNeil with the second effort. Just short yardage. Blackman and James combining. 5:45 to go. First half. Marv Albert, Bob Greasy from Giant Stadium. And the Jets lead the Patriots by the score of 7-6. Up front, the Jets with McElroy and Powell at the tackles, Sweeney and Alexander at the guards. Joe Fields, a question mark with a bruised chest, not practiced during the course of the week, but he has been in there. 2nd and 8. That's Walker moving off to the left side. And O'Brien with the slide at the 39. Nelson on the cover-up. O'Brien couldn't find anybody.
It's one of the things you don't see O'Brien do a whole lot of, Marv. He usually stands back there, and has taken some criticism for standing in the pocket too long. That time his receiver was covered. He knew he didn't have a second one, so he threw it downfield. As we see Steve Nelson on a blitz coming upfield to pressure O'Brien. Now O'Brien says, hey, it's over with. I have no one else to throw it to, and let me get out of here.
They spotted across the 37, and it's a 3rd down and 3. 4.5 left in this first half. And O'Brien calls for time. So the Jets will talk it over. Ken O'Brien has certainly come a long way since that opening game against the Los Angeles Raiders. Sacked 10 times. The Jets losing 31-0.
Is New York. First timeout. The timeout was called prior to the 30-second clock going out.
A very dramatic dissertation by the referee, Seaman. Well, the Jets and the Patriots meeting for the 3rd time this season. And in the second meeting back in November here at Giants Stadium, it was Steve Grogan breaking a leg, Ben Rudolph landing on top of Grogan. In fact, there was some bad feelings on the part of Patriot players, and Pat Leahy eventually won the game in overtime with that 32-yard field goal. A couple of Patriots were upset with Rudolph falling on top of Steve Grogan, and the word is that he would be able to return should the Patriots go on and compete in the AFC Championship game.
And there's Ben Rudolph, the man who fell on him, and there was nothing cheap about it at all, Marv. Rudolph was on a charge to the outside. Grogan had tossed the ball and was turning out, and he just ran into him. It was just a bad luck on the part of Steve Grogan, but in talking with Steve before the ball game, he is still very involved in all the meetings and attends the practices and is hopeful that if the Patriots can continue to win, that he might be back before they get to the Super Bowl, if they get that far.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, and it is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New York Jets and the National Football League is prohibited.
That man is right there. Steve Grogan has done a lot to help not only Tony Eason, but also Raymond Berry, because Raymond said earlier when Grogan went in, he was calling the plays better than I was, because I wanted to do it the way he was. So both of them learned a little bit from the old veteran.
Third down play for the Jets. And O'Brien going to the middle, has the first down with the tight end, Lucky Cleaver. Ronnie Lafette on the stop. 9-yard pass play. Rocky Cleaver, who has been seeing more and more action.
Derwin Williams, number 82, being taken off the field. It looks like he has a knee injury. Here we see Cleaver, number 89, just goes downfield. Good coverage, stops and comes back to the ball. Lafette on good coverage just makes the tackle.
First down for the Jets from the 46-yard line. Second back, McNeil. Larry McGrew on the stop. 3.5 remaining in this first half.
Report on Williams was a sprained right knee, and he'll be out for the rest of the game.
Derwin Williams is a backup wide receiver out of New Mexico. McNeil picked up 3, and a 2nd and 7. McNeil. Lots of time for O'Brien, and takes advantage. Mickey Schuler stacked up as he was battling for the first down marker. Let's see where they spot it. Good job by Roland James, and looking to keep him away.
Jets are trying to isolate Mickey Schuler. Schuler's over here at the tight end. Both wide receivers here. Schuler's going to go down and break to the outside as the wide receiver tries to clear it out to the inside. Now Schuler working on that side on Roland James. A good defensive back. Starts to the inside, breaks back out. Schuler broke the record, I think, this year, didn't he, Marv?
Yes.
Of
George Sauer.
George Sauer. Most receptions by a New York Jet in one season.
7 76 during the regular season, and he did pick up the first down. You know, the Jet coaching staff feel that Schuler has actually improved his quickness. Is that possible?
Yeah, I think you can improve your quickness with the loss of some weight, or maybe an increased speed. Increase weight training, get more muscles in leg. But I don't know. I'm getting slower. I'm getting slower. I'm not getting quicker. And I know Mickey's not getting any older.
And a first down, the Jets at the New England 43. It's leaded 7-6, 3 minutes left, first half. And again, O'Brien with much time. And it's picked off by Marion. Greg Marion, the free safety on the interception. So Marion, who was among the leaders in the AFC in the interception department with 7 during the regular season, gives the ball back to New England.
One of the big reasons why that Patriot defense has been so tough this year, the emergence of Fred Marion, number 2 on the in the entire secondary team of tackles, and now with his 8th interception, good coverage, sees the ball all the way. Now it's a battle. Who wants it the most? Who goes up and takes it away? Walker loses it to Marion. Good play, big play for the Patriots.
27-yard return on the interception, first down from the Patriot 33. A bullet thrown to Morgan, and he's across the 40. Lance Bell on the stop. 8-yard pickup, 2 minutes, 40 seconds to go in this first half. You know, there were some critics saying that Morgan's legs were gone, that he was having trouble running deep patterns, that he lost his touch as a clutch receiver last week against the Bengals. Looked like the Stanley Morgan of old.
There were some critics also saying that Raymond Berry was too conservative, but they've gone wide open here today in the first half.
Greg James across the 45. So he goes for 5. And it'll set it to a second down and 5. Charles Jackson on the stop. Well, I can recall doing a couple of Patriot games earlier this year, and people were talking that Berry was very, very conservative, and of course that has changed, particularly last week in the game against Cincinnati. We'll be right back. The New England Patriots and the New York Jets did very well when it came to Pro Bowl election time. The Patriots with 7 going to the Pro Bowl, that is second to the Chicago Bears.
And one of the ones that didn't go for the Patriots was Fred Marion, an alternate. People in New England were pretty upset about that, and rightly so, as we look at the Jet Pro Bowlers, and there's Fred Marion, who is from University of Miami, and talking to him before the ball game, he says, I haven't gotten used to this cold weather yet.
2 minutes left in the first half. It's been a defensive battle. It's Craig James to the 49. Kyle Clifton on the stop.
One of the battles going on all day is Klecko and Brock. Brock coming off of knee surgery, double knee surgery, not long ago, doing a good job, one of the better jobs on Klecko.
High hurry-up offense for New England. And the completion to Tony Collins. Short of the first down. 4-yard pickup.
Excuse me, Marv. The Patriots were concerned coming into this ball game that Klecko was lining up off sides, saying no way can he get there, get off the ball that quick. But Joe, in talking with Bud Carson yesterday, Joe loves that, where you slant, you get off to the side of the center there, you can go straight upfield. He says he's got such quickness, and he says his hands are so quick, he can get his hands onto the center before the center can complete his snap, and that's what makes him so tough.
Well, the Patriots adamant about the fact that he lines up offside, but of course they like to try and point that out to the officials, and understandably so. 3rd down and 4. Ball at the Jet 48. Eason on the quick handoff for Craig James, and a first down for James. Springs on the tackle. James ripping off a 10-yard gain. And the clock is down to 1 minute and 28 left in this first half.
What a money player Craig James is. Good receiver, good runner. Earlier complained I wasn't getting the ball enough. Just give it to me. Let me see what I can do. And he responded for over 1,000 yards. A great effort to get out of bounds and stop the clock.
And complained vehemently. In fact, newspapers throughout New England carried his complaints, which did not thrill head coach Raymond Berry, but it worked because he did begin to get the football. produced. Musi Tatupu has come on now for New England. And Eason putting it out for Morgan. Touchdown! Stanley Morgan leading the right quarterback Russell Carter, a 36-yard touchdown play.
Well, the Jets got burned, Marv. Bud Carson, the defensive coordinator, likes to blitz right here. The strong safety is going to be blitzing. That causes the free safety to come up in coverage, and the receiver right here straight down the field, one-on-one with Russell Carter. Carter just activated yesterday. Man-to-man coverage. Good throw by Tony Eason on the money.
The Patriots move in front by the score of 12-7. And Tony Franklin will attempt the extra point. Stanley Morgan, who combined with Tony Eason last week for a 50-yard touchdown pass play, has done it here from 36. And the Patriots now lead by the score of 13-7.
You talked a little earlier, Marv, about Morgan being up and down. He didn't catch some balls. He came back and worked just that much harder with Harold Jackson, the wide receiver coach. But the safety blitz puts man-to-man coverage, and Carter has to cover Morgan one-on-one. And Morgan is probably one of the finest deep receivers around in the football today.
The interception by Fred Marion setting it up, starting the drive off that is capped off by Stanley Morgan, connecting Tony Eason with a touchdown. And last week against Cincinnati, it was Eason and Morgan on a 50-yard pass play. And watch the catch by Morgan, who had several superb catches in the victory over the Bengals. Stanley Morgan, who missed the first couple of games because of a hamstring problem, but has come on in recent weeks. Johnny Hector on the return, runs it back 17 yards, a minute 17 remaining in this first half. And Reynolds, backup linebacker, on the stop of Hector, and the Jets first down at the 36.
Tony Eason throwing that pass to Stanley Morgan last week and this week. It seems like he's taken a page from Steve Grogan's book, because Grogan always liked to throw the ball to Stanley Morgan.
Could not find anybody. Nice catch by Al Toon, who has great hands.
Impressive move by O'Brien, too, moving around within the pocket, buying some time, and not losing his composure, finding his receiver.
Jets in the hurry up. And McNeil stopped at the line. Lester Williams, the nose tackle. And a timeout called by the Jets. And the Patriots have certainly contained Freeman McNeil in this first half.
Well, coming in, they said they wanted to do that. Stop McNeil. That's why the Jets started off passing. Every team that the Jets play like to take away McNeil. And that's why O'Brien is such a key to this ball game. He has to be able to carry the load when teams are stacking up against Freeman.
Timeout situation. Freeman McNeil, 10 carries, 23 yards. That has been it.
There's Morgan talking to Easton. This is how I did it, Tony. See, I was going to do that slam overward, and I said, no, I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to wait till I do it the next time. But I tell you, everything is happiness and smiles when you throw touchdown passes on the sideline. Steve Grogan saying, I told you, just throw my man Stanley. He's going to get out there and catch it. And Steve was saying before the ball game that Tony came to him and asked him, how do you what is it about you and Stanley Morgan about this chemistry? He says, well, you just have to throw it out there, because even though it looks like he won't get there, he'll run up and catch it. And certainly last week and again here today, Morgan has done that.
Now the Jets have a second down and 12 from midfield. 54 seconds left, first half. And O'Brien able to complete to McNeil, but Roland James was right there. Jets again in the hurry up. 44 seconds, clock running. Patriots in no hurry. Third down and 6. And O'Brien is walloped. Pass incomplete. Intended for Mickey Shula. On Andre Tippett on the rush, and O'Brien is shaken up.
He was walloped, too. And it was an option screen. It was supposed to be a pass, maybe 5 steps, and throw out to the left, but it was covered. He looked downfield as we see Pat Ryan doing the same thing he had to do last week for one play. But you see those gloves. He's got the gloves on. Now, he came into a play last week with both gloves on. He says he can throw with them on. He practices them with them all the time. But O'Brien, looking downfield, held the ball a little bit too long.
O'Brien ushered off the field. He doesn't want to go.
Well, you have to go out if the medical team comes out.
O'Brien is being guided off the field and has refused to leave.
An option screen. You see Field 65 go out to the left. Now, all the people have stopped blocking because they think it's a screen, and Tippett, number 56, just decks him. Good effort to get the ball off and get it downfield, but Tippett, unfair. A black belt in karate, Russian quarterbacks. I don't know if Ken knows where he is. It looks like he's all right.
Ken O'Brien, who was also voted the most valuable player of the Jets this season. And that a vote by the players. And Jennings will punt, and the crowd reacting with 32 seconds remaining. What do you think?
Yeah, it's the conservative way to go. There's no question about it.
Would you go for the first down? 4th down, 6, 32 seconds left.
For the Colts quarterback, I think they're better off going ahead and punting the ball.
Here is Jennings. And it lands inside the 10-yard line. A 36-yard punt. We're down to 20 seconds remaining in the first half. The Patriots in front of the Jets by the score of 13-7. And the Patriots will put it in play from their 9. Patriots going with Brock at center, Hanna and Wooten at the guard, Moore and Holloway at the tackles. Patriots have won only one playoff game in their 26-year history. That was back in '63. In fact, it is to the day 22 years ago when they beat Buffalo for the AFL Divisional Championship, and they're just running out the first half. And then they lost the league title game to San Diego, blasted by the score of 51-10. And time running out in this first half. So a defensive-geared first half at Giant Stadium with the Patriots leading the Jets by the score of 13-7. Coming up, NFL 85 with Bob Costas, Ahmad Rashad, and Pete Axtell. After these messages from your local station.
Halftime at the Meadowlands in the Wildcard game. The Patriots in front of the Jets 13-7. And Axe, this was your pick. You said the Pats would win the game outright, not just cover the 3-point spread.
Yes, I did. Of course, I'm not taking anything for granted right now, Bob.
And, of course, the injury to Ken O'Brien, something we'll be looking into. It appeared, however, that he'd be able to continue in the second half.
Yeah, I think he'll be back. You know, what's interesting in this game, I think both teams would like to control the ball, but both defenses are playing very well against the run. As a result, the big factor, so far, the Patriots have been able to complete long passes. The Jets haven't. They got intercepted on the big long pass.
All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half of this wild card game. The winner goes on next week and plays the Raiders in Los Angeles. Some fans here making clear both the identity of their favorite team and their mental condition early on in the chilly circumstances. Andre Tippett, the superb linebacker, fights off some blocks and sacks Ken O'Brien. Tippett had more sacks than any player in the AFC this year. Trailing 3-0, a Jet drive is kept alive in the first quarter on this connection from O'Brien to Al Toon. On a 3rd and 1 play, they pick up 15. That drive continues on the first play of the second quarter. It's Johnny Hector catching the 11-yarder from O'Brien, and the Jets have a 7-3 lead. A Franklin field goal brings the Patriots to within 7-6. Then after the Fred Marion interception, the veteran Stanley Morgan on the receiving end of this pass from Tony Eason, and that brings us to the halftime score of 13-7. Let's go down on the field to Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad, you told me beforehand that you thought the keys defensively, the play of Andre Tippett and Mark Gastineau. Your impressions in the first half?
Well, Bobby, I think that when you have these good wide receivers on both sides of the field, the only way you can control them is you put pressure on the quarterback. Andre Tippett has only sacked O'Brien one time, but he's pressured him almost every time he's got rid of the ball. Now, let's talk about execution, because that's the kind of thing that wins football games. Let's take a look at the first touchdown that the Jets had. It was a situation that they were trying to get Johnny Hector isolated on a linebacker, but on the top of your screen, you'll see Al Toon, who runs a great route. He occupies Raymond Claiborne, which now allows Johnny Hector to be wide open in the end zone. They get the touchdown at 7-3. Now, on the other end, the only thing that Stanley Morgan still does well is he can really run. And anytime he gets an isolated situation where he has man-to-man, you're definitely at a disadvantage. Now, let's take a look at the touchdown. Take a look at the touchdown by the Patriots. Now, it's a blitzing situation, a man-to-man situation out on Stanley Morgan. Stanley Morgan can still run with the best of them. It's just a flat-out straight fly pattern. They took a gamble, trying to put pressure on the quarterback. Eason picks up the blitz, hits Morgan for the touchdown, and I still think the key in the second half is you got to put pressure on those quarterbacks. If you don't, boy, these wide receivers are going to light this game up. Bobby?
Ahmad, how about the play of Freeman McNeil? Not a factor for the Jets against the Patriots in the two regular season games because of injuries, and held in check so far today.
Well, the thing is I talked to Freeman before the game, and he felt like last week, because of all his injuries, he didn't have really good timing, but he started to get it back towards the second half. He's got to get more carries in the second half of this game so he can get his timing back, and I think he'll be effective. Johnny Hector, who played well the first time they played the Patriots, he's fired up for this game, and he's playing pretty well already.
Joe Klecko had a field day against Guy Morris during the regular season, but now Pete Brock, the veteran, is back at center for the Patriots in this matchup. Klecko-Brock, that confrontation is key. How did you see it in the first half?
You know, I talked to both of these guys before the game started, and they've played against each other numerous times, and they know there's just going to be a dogfight for 60 minutes. If you saw them both go off the field, they walked off the field together. They enjoy playing against each other, and I'd say it's pretty much a standoff to this point.
Let me run a statement Bud Carson made to me earlier in the week by you here, Ahmad. Carson, of course, the defensive coordinator of the Jets. He says that Irving Fryer and Stanley Morgan are as good a pair of wide receivers as you'll find anywhere in the league. Now, he says that New England's passing game is not as sophisticated as Miami's, for example, but as receivers, he'd say Fryer and Morgan are in the same class as Duper and Clayton.
You know, Bobby, he may be right at that fact, but he probably said that because he's playing them this week. The reason he said that is these guys make the big plays. If you look at the yards per catch, they're up around 20 yards per catch. And when you have receivers with that kind of yards per catch, they can break a game wide open. So that's why he said that those guys are dangerous. But Duper and Clayton, I still think, are the best in the league.
All right, Ahmad, thanks a lot. Now let's go out to Los Angeles, which is where the winner of this game is headed a week from tomorrow to take on the Raiders at the Coliseum. And standing by watching the game, Howie Long and Mike Haynes of the Raiders. Howie, let's start with you. Your impressions of the play of your buddy, your close personal friend, Mark Gastineau, during the first half.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say I think Mark is a super football player. I think he's caught some criticisms from me in the past, but I feel he's a super player. I don't think you can block him with a running back, as was shown in the first half. I think they've done an adequate job of running him around the corner, and I think they've done an adequate job of doubling up on Klecko and sealing the middle up. I see the matchups of Klecko and Gastineau on the Patriots as kind of a stalemate at this point. So I think the second half might be a little bit different. They'll make some adjustments. Bud Carson tends to do that. I think he makes the adjustments as the game goes on, as all great defensive coordinators do.
Mike Haynes, as you watch this game, do you have any special feeling for your former teammates on the Patriots?
Well, you know, this is a situation the Patriots have been in, I guess, 4 times in the last 10 years in the playoff situation, and usually come out a loser. But this is really, I think, the first time in the history of the ball club they've been in the lead at the half. And so, you know, I feel like, you know, these guys, they have the people to do it. I'd like to see them have some good fortune today. They deserve it.
As you watch this game, are you able to enjoy it just as a fan, or is it a scouting mission and you're thinking Toon, Walker, Fryer, Morgan?
Well, unfortunately, it's definitely a scouting mission. You know, we're preparing this week not knowing who we're going to play, the Jets or New England, and wanting to see exactly what they were doing and see if they're going to change anything. The Jets actually have changed some things, using 3 wide receivers on passing situations. But the Patriots have not. They're doing the same thing they've been doing all year. The Jets have put themselves in a little bit of pressure situations by using the blitz and asking their defensive backs to cover Pryor and Morgan one-on-one, which is very tough to do.
Howie Long, in the season opener, when the Raiders destroyed the Jets, you ran all over their offensive line, but a couple of people were missing then, and obviously the Jets are a different team. If you should meet them next week, how important would your opening destruction of the Jets be, that opening game?
Well, you know, from one standpoint, you can say they would have an emotional edge because it was such a devastating loss for them. But they've come together as a team, and they've done a super job since then. It was so long ago, though. You know, it seems like ages ago, so I really don't think it plays a big factor. And as far as Marvin Powell being out and the other tackle being out, you know, I've played against Marvin 4 or 5 times. You know, I probably know Marvin as well as the guys from New England know.
The Jets and the Patriots are moving back onto the field as we get set for the second half here at Giant Stadium. New England in front by the score of 13-7 in what has been a defense-dominated first half.
Well, we knew that both defenses wanted to shut down the other team's running game, and they have done that. New England only 63 yards rushing, and the Jets worse, only 32. But the surprising thing is Tony Eason playing very well, throwing the ball 9 of 12, 134 yards. So he's doing a fine job in compensating for the lack of the running game.
Marv Albert with Bob Greasy. Tony Eason, 9 out of 12, 134 yards. Ken O'Brien, incidentally, who took that hard hit in the final minute of play, is okay. That is the word from the Jet clubhouse.
Well, I think that's good news for Jet fans because they're going to need him in the second half. They need to come out, continue throwing the ball. He's thrown the ball pretty well. It's been cold. It's some wind down there, but only the one bad throw where he threw it up for grabs. Fred Marion went up and made the interception, and then, of course, New England and Eason took it back down the other way and scored the touchdown.
That was a fourth down play, but O'Brien did not want to come off the field.
Well, that's what happens sometimes, you know.
Taking a look back, Ken O'Brien able to connect with Johnny Hector on the 11-yard touchdown. This is the first play of the second quarter.
Going to be a play-action pass, and right here, McGrew has got the coverage on him. And watch the wide receiver out here go to occupy the defensive back. Just make sure that he doesn't fall off and cover Hector down in the end zone. Man-to-man coverage. Good job by the wide receiver. McGrew gets beat. Hector catches the football. Play-action pass. I'm sure going in from playing this team twice a year every year, they felt like that play in that area of the field would be good.
Patriots, though, with 2 field goals by Tony Franklin from 33 and from 41. And then off the intercept by Fred Marion. Able to cap off the drive as Eason connected with Stanley Morgan for the 13-7 halftime lead.
The key there, as I see it, are the 2 turnovers the Jets have had. The one McNeil fumble and also the O'Brien interception. Rushing, not too good. Passing has been the way that the 2 teams have been through the air. Time of possession about the same, but again, playoff games usually decided on the team that commits the fewest turnovers.
And Tony Franklin kicking off the second half is underway, kicking to Hector and Humphrey. Here's Hector on the return. Out to the 20. And then pushback. Rod McSwain on the tackle. And a review of the scoring. Franklin from 33 yards away. Patriots with a 3-0 lead. Then Hector's touchdown on the 11-yard reception from O'Brien. Jets in front. Franklin closed it to a 1-point lead, hitting from 41 yards away. And then with 1:20 left in the second quarter, Eason able to hit Morgan. Very impressive statistics for Ken O'Brien as he starts out from his 19-yard line. And here's McNeil. Picked up a yard. Jets open up with McElroy and Powell at the tackle, Sweeney and Alexander at the guards, Fields at center. The nose tackle, Lester Williams, on the stop of McNeil. They're calling it a 2-yard pickup. It'll be a 2nd down and 8. Jets have been very strong, obviously, at home. And they're going with the white uniforms, which is yet another story. There's McNeil, who has been held in check by the Patriots. Nelson able to trip him up. Joe Walton prefers the Jets wear the white because he feels you look bigger in white, and also he's superstitious. The Jet record is better in white.
Well, he's also about 5'9" or 5'10". He's kind of a small man next to Powell and the McElroys and those types of people. But he wants him to look bigger.
3rd down and 1 at the 28. Page and Hector, the running backs, and it's Hector. And we'll have to see where they spot it. Steve Nelson beating Johnny Hector, who went flying through the air. You know, one time Jet coach Weave Eubank used to have his teams wear white against the physically bigger clubs in the older days back in the AFL. Clubs like Kansas City Chiefs were always a huge ball club.
I think the reason a lot of teams wear white originally was because of the heat factor. The Southern teams, I think it's cooler when you wear the white than the darker jerseys, but certainly it does tend to make you look a little bit bigger.
Jets picked up the 1st down. Is that why you wear white here in the broadcast booth?
Of course.
And the hole open for McNeil and then closed. So the Jets going right with Freeman McNeil to open up this 3rd quarter. And he picked up 5. It'll be a 2nd down and 5 at the 34.
The other thing that Jets are doing periodically throughout the 1st half, again here in the 2nd half, double tight end. And what that does is puts a tight end in front of both of their big outside linebackers, Blackman and Tippett, and that slows them, doesn't allow them to get into that backfield.
13 carries, only 34 yards for McNeil. That's 2 in motion. And here's McNeil. And again, he's handled by the Patriots. An enthusiastic number 56, Andre Tippett, cheering on Julius Adams, who made the stop.
Here's Andre Tippett, 56, with Schuler in front of him as Schuler releases to the inside. Lays off the block of Sweeney, just stuffs him. He didn't make the tackle, but it was just as well because he stuffed up the hole with Sweeney, and then Adams from the opposite side came across and made the tackle.
No gain for McNeil. 3rd down and 5. Intended for Hector. Covered by Blackman. And a good job by the Patriots on this series. Dave Jennings comes on with the punting unit.
Patriots' 3rd down defense has been very good all year. In fact, they're the 3rd best in the National Football League.
Jennings back at his 19. And he will punt to Irving Fryer, the Pro Bowl kick return specialist for the AFC. Minutes gone by. 3rd quarter. And a short punt. Here's Fryer picking his way across the 45. And Jennings and the Jets are hearing it from the crowd. We'll be back in a moment.
The AFC Wildcard game is brought to you by Mazda Cars and Trucks. The more you look, the more you like Mazda value. By Coors and Coors Light, beers with a difference worth tasting. And by the U.S. Army, a place to be all you can be.
Gastineau revving the crowd up. A 28-yard punt by Dave Jennings puts the Jets in a hole. 1st down at the 46. And Lance Merrill all over Craig James. Mel and Hamilton combining a 3-yard pickup. It'll be a 2nd down and 7. Tony Eason has made it back from a separated shoulder injury. He took over as the starter in Game 3 last year, finished as the 3rd-rated quarterback of the NFL, off to a slow start this season, then got hurt. And Grogan came on and did a good job, but Eason is back after Grogan broke his leg in the game against the Jets. Second back coming through, Collins. Marty Lyons right there.
You mentioned Eason not playing well early, and in talking with Raymond Berry, Raymond said it probably made a mistake, should have taken him out. And I saw Tony a couple weeks after he was hurt, talking to him before a ball game. I said, you know, Tony, I said, getting hurt might have been the best thing for you. And he gave me a strange look. He looked at me and said, what are you talking about? Are you crazy? I said, no. I said, sometimes getting out, standing on the sideline, watching a veteran like Grogan play could be good for you. And it was. In the long run, he's coming back and playing well.
Third down and 4. And Craig James stopped by Bob Crable and is close to the first down marker. But people always give you strange looks when you talk to them.
Certainly
this is
do.
nothing
Certainly
unusual.
Do. Mostly you, but Raymond Berry never gave me any strange looks, but he said in dealing with the quarterback situation, he says it's different than anybody else. As we look at Raymond all bundled up with his game plan in his hand, but says quarterback is different. He says if you change wide receivers or you change defensive backs or you change linemen, nothing is said. But if you change quarterbacks, he says, everybody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about it in the papers all the time. This is a big deal when you change quarterbacks. So he said, I never handled that before. He says, may have left Eason in too long and may have delayed and not putting Steve Grogan. He says, I learned something from Grogan when he was in there, how to call plays, open the offense up. And Raymond says, when the game's over with, he says, I don't want any guns left bullets left in my gun. I want to shoot everything and go for the work.
Patriots picked up the first down at the Jet 44. And here's Collins. Collins to the 40. Johnny Lynn on the stop.
Take a look at the key matchup, Klecko and Brock. Now, the Patriots have said that they think he's offsides, but I think this is a bad angle to try and tell because it looks like Bennett down here is more offsides than Klecko is, as Wooten 61 gets a good block on him there. They've done a good job in neutralizing that speed, that quickness of Joe Klecko.
2nd and 5 at the Jet 39. And here's James, and he is stopped. Kyle Clifton hitting him for a loss on the play. He lost 3.
Let's go back. Here's Klecko right here. Now he's going to loop all the way around to this side, and Clifton is here. Now watch all the attention that Klecko gets allows Clifton to get in and make the tackle. They're concerned about Klecko. Clifton runs right through and makes the play. He doesn't make a lot of tackles. Well, he does make a lot of tackles, but sometimes he helps his linebackers make the tackles also.
Third down and 8. Patriots with 3 receivers, 7 defensive backs for the Jets. And interference call against Russell Carter. He tripped up Stanley Morgan. And it will be a first down for New England. And this will be a 9-yard penalty. Here's the referee, Jerry Seaman.
Take another look at this. As Carter just a little bit anxious, Marv. I don't think there's any, as he's just activated for this ball game. There's no substitute for game action. You'll see it right here. Good vision. He saw the ball coming. His timing to the receiver and through the ball was just not there. And I just don't think you can substitute game action as opposed to practice. He's been practicing for a couple of weeks, but certainly not a little anxious on that.
Carter missed the last 8 games because of a back injury. Has had a rough time. He was beaten for the touchdown by Morgan earlier. It was a fake by Eason. Nice play as he gets it out to Craig James, and James down at the 10-yard line. Knocked down by Kirk Springs and Crable stopping James on a 24-yard pass play. Beautiful fake by Eason.
And an excellent throw. He threw this ball early, the play-action fake. Now he throws it after he fakes the reverse. He throws it downfield where James had to look around and find the ball, but he gave it enough height and threw it enough to the inside. There was no defensive man there that James could turn around and adjust and make the play. Big play by Craig James.
And a 1st and goal at the 10. 8 minutes left, third quarter. Patriots lead the Jets 13-7 and threatening here. Collins and James, the running backs. Here's James, stopped at the line. Joe Klecko, the nose tackle, stopping James.
I said a little earlier, Klecko, 73, doesn't make a lot of tackles, but really he's a third leading tackler on that defensive Jet front line of the entire defense. You don't see defensive tackles make a lot of tackles. Normally they're the cannon fodder. They go up and take all the blocks, and the linebackers make the tackles, but Klecko is third on the team.
Second and goal from the 10. James going outside, not able to turn it. Followed by 55, Charles Jackson.
There is a play selection by committee for the Patriots. Raymond Berry has some input, obviously. Les Stecco is in the booth. He'll call some plays. Rod Humanick, the offensive line coach, is also there. Tom Ramsey in the dark stocking cap will send the plays in to Eason.
Loss on the play, third and goal, as you see, inside the 12. Stephon Starring, Irving Fryer, Stanley Morgan, 3 receivers for New England. Eason putting it up. Irving Fryer took a hard hit from Kirk Springs, a 6-yard pickup on the play. And it will be a field goal attempt for Tony Franklin.
Fryer's going to release to the inside and go all the way across field. Now, man-to-man coverage, the safety, the top left of your screen right there, has vision and comes up and makes the hit, but Fryer hangs on to the ball. And it'd be good field position for Tony Franklin.
Franklin is hit from 33 and from 41. And this 20-yard field goal attempt. Eason will hold. And it is good. So Tony Franklin continues to put the points on the board. And the Patriots lead the Jets 16-7. Now that is an impressive shot. The view from the top of the RCA building in Midtown Manhattan, about 8 miles from Giant Stadium. On a clear day, you can see the Meadowlands, particularly if you're on top of the RCA building with a strong zoom lens. The Patriots leading the Jets 16-7. And it's Johnny Hector on the kickoff return. Good coverage. The bobble by Hector, a penalty flag thrown. And the Patriots have recovered and have run it in. Play continuing. Johnny Rembert, backup linebacker, racing it in. Let's see what the penalty call is. Hector on the return, coughed it up. And it looked like the Jets just
illegal block during the return. Number 81, receiving team. Penalty declined. Touchdown.
Tight end Billy Griggs, and it is a touchdown on the fumble recovery by Johnny Rembert, the 3-year pro out of Clemson. And the Patriots move in front by the score of 22-7.
The Patriots coverage team has been good all year. They're number 3 in the National Football League in covering punts, and number 3 in taking the ball away. As we see, Hector, the ball comes out before he hits the ground. Now, can't see who comes out of there with it, but nobody downs him. Not a jet down. Rembert picks it up, and into the end zone he romps.
Got the idea the Jets just stopped. They did not continue on the play while the Patriots did, and Johnny Rembert able to run it in. Here's the extra point by Franklin. And the Patriots, with a big turnaround, now lead it by the score of 23-7 with 6:09 left in this third quarter. Marty Lyons involved in a dispute with the field judge Jack Vaughn, complaining he felt that the ball should have been blown dead on that fumble recovery by Rembert.
Before Rembert got up, someone touched him. That's what Lyons is so upset about.
But Rembert running it in from 15 yards away, and the Patriots lead it by the score of 23-7. Here's Hector again. He fumbled just a moment ago. Hector with a good return across the 40 and coughs it up. But the play was blown dead. It's all over, but Griggs with a hard tackle, but this is all for naught now. Players coming together.
This is frustration right here. Frustration on the part of the Jets and excitement on the part of the Patriots.
It's a 33-yard kickoff return for Hector. Patriots have excelled during the course of the season on return recovery touchdowns. They had 6 during the regular season after recovering fumbles.
Well, they're very good at grabbing for the football, Marv. The second most fumbles in the National League.
There was no infraction on the play since the kicker was running with the ball. First down.
5:55 left, third quarter. And the Patriots with a 23-7 lead on the Jets. 3 field goals by Tony Franklin. The bad punt by Jennings, a 28-yarder, leading to one of those field goals. And then the Hector fumble. Pat Ryan has taken over at quarterback for Ken O'Brien. So here is Ryan, who's been used sparingly this season, and able to complete to Al Toon for the first down. An 11-yard pickup. Now, I don't know if this is a change because of the hard hit that O'Brien took earlier.
I see O'Brien standing on the sideline. He's got his warm gloves on. He's standing there like he knows what's going on. But, Marv, sometimes when you get banged around, you hit your head on the ground. Sometimes a concussion, it's a delayed reaction. And sometimes the longer you go, the farther you get. I don't know if that's the problem here or not.
The only extensive action Ryan saw was earlier this year against Buffalo. Mickey Schuler on the catch. Pat Ryan began last year as the starter and led the Jets to a record of 6-2 until a string of injuries set him back, and Ryan was playing hurt. In fact, he suffered 2 concussions over a 3-week stretch. And Schuler shaken up on the play. Five minutes, 3 seconds left in the third quarter. An official timeout. We'll be back in a moment.
Go back and take a look from a reverse angle of that disputed play. Rembert, 52, makes the tackle. Now stop it right there. They're grappling for the ball. There was contact made. He should have been blown dead on the play.
2nd and 5 as we resume. The Jets in the New England 40-yard line. Hector with a short pickup. And the word is Ken O'Brien suffered a mild concussion, so Pat Ryan has taken over.
Looking at this reverse angle again, Rembert 52 pulls the ball out. Now Rembert grabs the ball right there. Now run that back. If you run it back just a little, he was down. One of the Patriots hadn't made contact with him when Rembert was on the ground, and that's the key as to whether or not he can get up and run with the football.
And that was the point that Monty Lyons was arguing. 3rd down and 2 at the 37. Play action, and Ryan puts it up. Beautiful catch. Mickey Schuler, who was shaken up a moment ago, now they roll it incomplete. Fred Marion able to bat it away. There's Marion, who had a key interception earlier.
Ryan with Blackman, 55 in his face, tries to throw the ball, throws it as well as he can under the circumstances. Both men were covered very well, and Schuler just drops the ball at the very end.
It is a 4th and 2 at the Patriot 37. The Jets will go for the first down. 4 minutes, 2 seconds remaining. Third quarter. Marv Albert, Bob Greasy from Giant Stadium in the New Jersey Meadowlands. A 27-degree, very cold day. And a timeout being called by the Jets.
You see Joe Walton shaking his head. Ryan calling the timeout because he had only 5 seconds left on the 30-second clock. Ryan, wearing those gloves, talking to him yesterday in the locker room, said that they're like golf gloves and you have pretty good traction. He wears them every day in practice, and Kenny O'Brien said that he may wear them today. He hasn't so far, but certainly O'Brien is in there and throwing the ball pretty well with him.
Bob, I know in your quarterback days you were a tough, gutsy guy. In a cold weather situation, did you don the gloves or did you go bare skin?
Always went bare skin. Never had any gloves that I felt. I always had a problem in wet weather or in with a cold ball, because the colder it gets, the more slippery the leather of the ball becomes. And obviously, if it's a wet ball, it's going to be very slippery also. But I never had the large hands where I could really grip a hold of a wet ball.
Reminder, later on we'll be selecting the Budweiser Most Valuable Player for today's game. Just under 4 minutes remaining, third quarter. The Patriots with a 23-7 lead on the Jets. The winner here today will face the Los Angeles Raiders at the Coliseum in L.A. a week from tomorrow. Matt Ryan has taken over for Ken O'Brien at quarterback. Matt Ryan in his 8th season out of Tennessee. He has Freeman McNeil as the lone deep back. There's Schuler in motion. And a bullet completed to Toon for a first down. Ronnie Lepet on the stop. An 11-yard pass play.
Receivers, including Schuler, come to this side. Toon just goes down and finds an open area. All I want is 2 yards for a first down, and he'll hold on to the ball. Lepet on the tackle, but a big fourth down play for the Jets.
And Ryan, 3 out of 4 for 28 yards. First down at the New England 27. Again, Schuler in motion. And now it's McNeil. Inside the 25. Aaron Ferris on the stop. Second down and 6 coming up for Pat Ryan. You go back to last year, and Ken O'Brien was scheduled to be the starting quarterback, but lost valuable time defending himself in court in that well-publicized Studio 54 incident. So Ryan was given the job, and then he got off to the good start, winning 6 of 8. And then got banged up, and O'Brien finished up the season. Walker moving to the right side. And here is Ryan looking for Walker. Penalty flag down as Walker stretches out toward that first down marker. Lepet on the tackle, but a flag thrown.
Walker may have turned upfield too soon, Marv. Illegal motion is the call against the Jets.
And the Jets have been hit with 5 penalties. Joe Walton inserting Tony Page. And it was called on Wesley Walker. Illegal motion at the snap.
Joe Walton calling the play, sending him in. It's a critical time in this ball game for the Jets. Walton did an outstanding job this year bringing the Jets back from 2 7-9 seasons, and they're seeing it all slip away from them right here.
Down to 2:05 remaining, third quarter, 2nd and 11. Play action, and Ryan goes sideline. Nice catch by Toon coming back, and then picking up the first down. Andre Tippett on the coverage. Toon picking up 11 for the first down.
Rich Kotite, the offensive coordinator for the Jets and works with the receivers, has done a great job with Toon. He drives him off. Now Lepet has good coverage, but Toon comes back for the ball, and that's why that's completed. Ryan threw the ball the only place he could, and it was a well-coordinated completion.
Matt Ryan has done a good job in coming out as a first down at the New England 16-yard line. McNeil is run out of bounds by James. Roland James, the strong safety, forcing McNeil out. It'll be a 2nd down and 6 at the 12-yard line. 1:10 left. Third quarter. And And the Patriots with a 23-7 lead on the Jets. Again, the play action. And Ryan throws across the field, a surprising cross, and it's broken up. Nearly caught by Schuler. And that's a tough play, running right, throwing left.
And nearly intercepted by Lepet, 42. Good coverage. The Patriots were not surprised. Two wide receivers going across field. Schuler trying to sneak back. Schuler has it. Lepet pulls it out. Good play by Lepet to get it out of there because, as you said, Marv, Schuler did have his hands on it. So he threw that. That was a Hail Mary pass. I mean, he was just lucky to get that ball as close as he did to Schuler.
It's a third down and 6. 10th play of the drive. A minute 2 left, third quarter. Ryan throwing, touchdown, Schuler. Come off the bench, and he has engineered this long drive. Mickey Schuler on a 12-yard pass play. Matt Leahy attempting the extra point. Seconds left, third quarter, and the Patriot lead is now 23-14.
Lined up right here. He's going to start downfield and break to the outside. The wide receiver's going to come inside. At the last minute now, Schuler is going to turn back upfield and catch the touchdown over his inside shoulder. Breaks to the outside, looks back for the ball to tell the linebacker, and then breaks to the upfield. Great throw by Ryan, and what a great job of Ryan coming off the bench cold and taking the Jets down for a touchdown against the tough Patriot defense.
The season had attempted only 9 passes. There's that 10-play drive, 57 yards, 5 minutes and 12 seconds. Pat Ryan on the year, 6 for 9. No touchdowns, no interceptions.
And that's a tough job in the National Football League, being a backup quarterback, because you go every week, preparing to play, but then you don't play. And then the following week, it's tougher to go back to watch those films and prepare, but you've got to do it because you never know when you're going to be called on.
And a short kickoff by Leahy. The up man. Cedric Jones on the return, stopped by Larry Flowers. 11-yard return by Jones. Matt Ryan actually appeared in only 2 games as a quarterback against Buffalo and Tampa Bay. And that has been it.
2 pretty good relief pitchers, if you call them that, here on this field today. Brogan, of course, coming in and winning 6 straight for the Patriots. Now Ryan coming on when the Jets really needed a score and taking him down.
Now the crowd back into it. Patriots first down at their 24-yard line. Craig James across the 30. 40 seconds remaining, third quarter. 6-yard pickup. Here is the capacity crowd at Giant Stadium. A game that has attracted media coverage, setting a club record for the Jets. The Jets staff handling 900 press credentials for today's game. There's part of the media crew from radio and television, right through the press. And final seconds of this third quarter, and it will run down. That is the end of 3 with the score. New England 23, Jets 14. We'll be back after these messages from your local station. Well, Pat Ryan getting the Jets back into it, and as we mentioned earlier, he has been using a very thin, golf glove. We have a collector's item. This is the glove that Bob Greasy used as a quarterback for the Miami Dolphins. Do you have any problems throwing the ball with this?
It kept me very warm on the sideline. Don't say bad things about those warm gloves.
2nd down and 4 at the 30-yard line as we get underway in the 4th quarter. Eason with the short flip. Stanley Morgan stopped by Springs and Carter. And a 1st down for the Patriots.
Patriots have outscored the Jets 24-7 in the 4th quarter this season, and take that a step further, the Patriots have been a 4th quarter team. They have scored more points in the 4th quarter than any other quarter that they played, and I'm very impressed with Tony Eason today. He's playing very well, smart, not good turning the ball over, and throwing the ball very well.
Picked up 13 on that pass to Morgan. 1st down from the Patriots, 43. New England in front of the Jets, 23-14. Here's James. Across the 45, Marty Lyons able to knock him down. A 4-yard advance for Craig James. Patriots and Jets finished the regular season at 11-5, both finishing strong. New England with the 34-23 win over Cincinnati. The Jets beating Cleveland 37-10 to win the home field advantage. Meeting in the AFC Wildcard, the winner to face the Raiders a week from tomorrow at the Coliseum in Los Angeles. 2nd down and 6 from the 47. James to the outside. And Mark Gastineau followed him across the field.
Gastineau was free because Klecko was double teamed inside. Gastineau can probably outrun most of the fullbacks in the National Football League. Watch Klecko, 73, as Wooten, 61, comes down and helps seal off the penetration and allows the guard Hanna to get around. Patriots doing a good job on that defensive front of the Jets.
Loss of 2 and a significant play here. 3rd down and 7 from the 46. And Eason has it broken up, intended for Morgan. Davlin Mullen, who came on for Johnny Lynn, who was injured earlier, getting a piece of it. And the punting unit will come on for the Patriots.
Eason with good time, good throw, throws it a shade behind him, but that should have been caught by Morgan Mullen with a good effort to break the pass up. That ball, I'm sure Tony Eason's saying right now, he should have had completed because man was wide open, just needed it a little bit more to the inside of the field.
And there's Kurt Sohn back at his 10. Awaiting the punt from Rich Camarillo. And a good one. Sohn lets it go. So the Jets will take over at the 20-yard line. A 54-yard punt by Camarillo. 12:39 left in this 4th quarter. We'll be back in a moment.
The AFC Wildcard game is brought to you by Pontiac, America's road car company. Pontiac, we build excitement. By IBM and the growing family of IBM personal computers. And by Bud Light, everything else is just a light.
With Bob Greasy, this is Marv Albert from Giant Stadium in the New Jersey Meadowlands. 12:39 remaining 4th quarter, and the Patriots lead the Jets 23-14. The Jets 1st down from their 20-yard line. Toon to the left, Walker right. Pat Ryan remaining in at quarterback. Took over for Ken O'Brien, who's suffering from a mild concussion. And Ryan with a bullet, and he has Toon. Raymond Claiborne on the stop at the 26-yard line, so it will be a 2nd down and 4. And that's the 7th reception for Al Toon. Number 1 draft pick following a holdout. He joined the team late, still managed 46 catches this season. the setbacks. That was deflected. No one in sight, so he tried to dump it off to McNeil. Blackman got a piece of it. Here's Don Blackman.
It looks like Rod Rust. It's hard to tell.
Incognito.
When you're so bundled up in these cold games. Is that Raymond Berry? Yeah, that's Raymond. Raymond's of the school that you got to stay warm to be able to think. You got to keep your feet warm and your head warm. And I was in that school along with him.
He was just doing his Rod Rust impersonation.
Yes, right.
3rd down and 4 from the 26. 88-2, peeling off. It's caught by Toon, and he's pushed back. It is spotted short of the first down. Roland James stacking up Al Toon.
Roland James is kind of the forgotten man in that secondary. You hear so much about the year that Marion is having, and Claiborne obviously having a good year, but Roland James down through the years has probably been as steady a defensive back as they've had in that secondary.
4th down and 1, and the punting unit comes on. The catch by Toon, his 8th of the day, that ties a Jet playoff record. Ties him with Wesley Walker and George Sauer. Irving Pryor dropping back to his 30-yard line, and here is Jennings. And a beauty. Pryor stopped across the 30. 44-yard punt. 5-yard return. Patriots will go to work at their 29. The view from Manhattan, from atop the RCA building. You know, New York Mayor Koch and Boston Mayor Ray Flynn placed a bet on today's game, a friendly bet. If the Jets win, Flynn would buy Koch a New England seafood dinner. If the Patriots win, Koch would purchase a New York deli corned beef on rye sandwich for Flynn. Now, there are some in Boston who say not fair, a lobster dinner worth more than a corned beef sandwich.
I'll go with either one of them.
First down from the 31. Patriots lead the Jets 23-14. And this is Frank James. And he is gang tackled. Springs and Clifton on the stop.
Patriot offensive line doing a good job on that Jet defensive line as we see Gastineau 99 just selling out as Collins goes for his legs. Also, Klecko has not been a factor, and I tell you, you got to give credit to Brock after coming off of double knee surgery a month and a half or so ago, doing a very good job.
7-yard pickup. 2nd down and 3. And this time James, looking for that second effort, could not find the hole. Gastineau and Crable on the stop. That New England offensive line has played well. Brock at center, Wooten, Hanna at the guards, Holloway and Moore at the tackles. It's a 3rd down and 2. Ball at the 39-yard line. 9:45 left in the 4th quarter. So another significant 3rd down play. And Eason is wrapped up. Bob Crable coming up with the Jets' 3rd sack of the day.
Crable, number 50, is isolated right here on number 33, Tony Collins. Collins misses the block. Crable flips around him, and Eason goes down with the sack.
Crable, Gastineau, and Baldwin have come up with the Jet sacks. Rich Camarillo checking in. He will punt from his 17. He had a 54-yard punt in his last effort. And Kurt Sohn is back deep. This is a short punt. Fair catch. And the Jets will go to work at their 36-yard line. A 32-yard punt by Camarillo. You look at the Lions score, New England with a 13-7 lead at the half. The big play, that fumble recovery and run for the touchdown off the kickoff return by Hector, and Johnny Rembert ran it in. A penalty marker down off that punt.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 83, throwing the helmet. Number 83 is disqualified from the game. 15 yards, previous spot.
Number 83, Cedric Jones, disqualified, so he has been ejected.
83 at the left of your screen. Now, this happened a little bit earlier in the ball game as those two defensive men, Mullen and the other one, were really getting after him. Obviously, they're getting after him again. He's just saying, here, I got your helmet, Dabble, and I want to give it back to you. But this has been going on the entire ball game. In fact, when a little earlier this happened, Cedric Jones was on the ground, and one of the Jet defenders, I don't know which one it was, actually threw a block on him when he was on the ground. So there's a carryover effect from that little replay that you saw right there.
Cedric Jones, a backup wide receiver, and a special teams man, has been thrown out.
And he is their third wide receiver, so it not only affects their special teams, but also their offensive scheme.
And receiving less than mixed reaction as he departs. So, 15 yards tagged on, and the Jets first down from their 37-yard line. 9:06 remaining in this fourth quarter. Matt Ryan running the club, 7 for 10 to this point, and floats one that is broken up. Al Toon had it knocked away by Raymond Claiborne.
You see Toon working on Claiborne. Claiborne with good vision to the inside. Toon gets him going deep, and then probably the first or second bad pass that Ryan has thrown, a little bit behind him again. Needs to throw the ball more to the inside.
2nd and 10 from the 37. Patriots 23, Jets 14. And Ryan is hauled down inside the 30. Don Blackman, the outside linebacker, in his 5th year at Tulsa. 8 sacks during the season. That is the 3rd sack of the day for the Patriots.
Blackman has to play second fiddle to Andre Tippett on the other side, but certainly two very good linebackers. Good coverage by Roland James on the play allows Blackman to get in and make the sack.
A loss of 7. The Jets 3rd down and 17. Back at the 30. The lone deep back. Now JoJo Townsell in motion. Ryan looking that way. And goes further downfield for Toon, but he came back for it, so he's short of the first down. Claiborne and LePet on the coverage. An 11-yard advance. And it's a 4th down and 4.
It appears as Walton is going to go for it. There's 8 minutes left to go in the ball game. He needs 2 scores, 9 points down. He needs a touchdown and a field goal. I don't know if I would go for it at this point right here. The defense has been playing well the last couple of series, but the last time they went for it on 4th down, they were successful.
4th down and 4 from the 43. Again, Townsell in motion. For the Patriots, who will take over right there. Ferris and Tippett combining, and that will go down as sack number 4 for New England.
Well, Ferris made the sack, but give credit to it for Andre Tippett, who got upfield and forced Ryan to pull up inside and allow Ferris to make the sack.
Patriots will take over at the Jet 32. 4th down and 4, and the Jets going for it, and the Patriots come up with their 4th sack of the day.
Tippett, 56, just slips Marvin Powell, and the running back that were coming out, they're forced to play inside. Big play at that juncture for the Patriots.
And New England takes over at the Jet 32-yard line. Tony Eason, the quarterback. And the straight-ahead move by Craig James. Down to 7.5 left. 4th quarter. James stopped by Clifton and Mel, the inside linebackers.
Now, if you're the Patriots, you're going to see a lot of running. Nothing fancy because you don't want any losses in the backfield. You just wanted some straight blocking. Let Klecko or Gastineau take the slant that they want, and the back read it and pick up some yardage. Positive plays only.
What a job the Patriots have done on Mark Gastineau and Joe Klecko and Freeman McNeil, who has been quiet. 2nd down and 7. And it's Collins into the line. Tony Collins stopped by Mel and Hamilton. And the clock is running. 6:45 remaining. 4th quarter. 3rd down and 7 coming up. So Freeman McNeil sat out the first game against the Patriots because of the rib injury. Saw only limited action in the second game and has been held in check here today. 3rd down play. It's Collins. And he's short of the 1st down. Klecko on the stop. And we'll see Tony Franklin, who has hit 3 out of 3. And if he hits this, a 4th field goal would tie him with a whole bunch of people for a playoff record. 4 field goals in one game.
More importantly for the Patriots, it would put them ahead by 16 points and force the Jets to score 3 times.
This is a 41-yard attempt. Tony Franklin getting set. Eason puts it down, and the kick, no good. So Franklin not able to hit from 41.
So the fourth down gamble by Joe Walton doesn't cost them anything. They still have 5.5 minutes. Need 2 scores.
Right, it was Franklin from 33 yards away, providing the Patriots with that 3-0 lead. The 11-yard reception by Hector, and the Jets moved in front. Patriots making it back. Franklin from 41 cut it to 7-6. And then Stanley Morgan from Tony Eason, 13-7. Franklin from 20 made it 16-7 in the 3rd. And this, the pivotal play. The fumble return by Rembert, then Schuler got the Jets closer. And here we are with 5.5 remaining in the 4th quarter. Wesley Walker on the reception. An 8-yard advance. There's the time left in this 4th quarter. The Jets are down by 9. New England on top by the score of 23-14. A 2nd and 2 at the 32. Pat Ryan has come on, replacing Ken O'Brien, who took a couple of hard hits. The report we received from the sideline was a mild concussion, but might be able to return. Although Ryan opened strong, and he's remained in there. It is deflected on an interception of Ferris. And he fumbles, and the Jets recover.
Well, they give it to the Patriots. The ball was loose, Marv.
It is New England on the recovery. A wild play. McElroy had it and coughed it up to Nelson.
Steve Nelson always around the ball. The brains of that defense. Freeman McNeil bats the ball up in the air, and Barris is there to get it. Now, the ball is going to come loose, and I think that's McElroy. 68 has a shot at it.
Looked like he had it.
It's loose. And the Patriots recover.
Squirted away, and then Nelson able to cover up. And that is the major factor. The Jets turning it over 4 times.
2 of those turnovers were converted into scores.
And what a day it's been for the rookie, Darren Burris. James. Stopped by Hamilton. Burris with 2 sacks and interception in filling in for the injured Ken Sims. That's 4:52 left in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 10 from the 11. The Patriots threatening. They have a 23-14 lead as Pete Brock leads New England up to the line. And apparently some debris was tossed onto the field, so we have an official timeout. The New England Patriots have been led defensively by Garen Veras, who had that good ball game against the Jets back in October. That the first meeting in Foxborough. 2nd-round draft pick out of Stanford.
Saw Julius Adams come over and congratulate him. Veras has given a lot of credit to Adams for helping him through the year, trying to teach him some things. And of course, Julius Adams is retiring after this year, 15 years in the National Football League.
Several Patriot players tried to talk him out of retirement, but Julius said, no, that's it. He said, it's his final year, number 85 will retire after 85. Morgan left, Pryor right. 2nd down and 10. James stopped, perhaps picked up a yard. Clifton on the tackle. Clock is running. Down to 4:05 remaining. And now the clock is stopped. A timeout is called. Harry Hamilton of the Jets calling for the timeout. And again, debris tossed onto the field, and it's being handled by the officials. For the New York Jets, a season that saw them win 11 and lose 5, bounce back from a 31-0 drubbing by the Raiders on opening day. They had finished 7 and 9 their 2 previous years under Joe Walton. Not much expected of this ball club, but when you reach the playoffs, and I'm sure if the Patriots hold on and go on to win, when we look at the postmortems here, there will be dissatisfaction by Joe Walton and the Jets, because you want to do a little bit better than what has taken place here today.
Unfortunately, the thing that is remembered is the last loss, and if the Jets do lose here, the thing that the fans and all of the players and the coaches will remember was the first loss in the playoffs, the first game, and not the great season that they had, turning it around, as you said, making a better turnaround than any team in the National Football League.
And for the Patriots, so much expected over the years. The feeling that the material has always been there, and then the disappointment. But this season, after the slow start, they have turned it. Not much expected over the first 3 or 4 games after looking at this ball club. It all settled in. Craig James emerging, the defensive unit playing well, despite the quarterback changes. Eason and Rogan able to combine for the record of 11 and 5, and here they are on the verge if they are able to hold on, and we still have 4 minutes and 5 seconds left in this fourth quarter. If they hold on, they would advance to face the Raiders next week.
And all the players point to Raymond Berry. He was the solidifying force that came in. I asked Raymond Berry about his defense. He says, I don't know anything about the defense. Ask Rod Rust. Well, Steve Nelson says Rust is a genius. So you've got Raymond Berry running the organization. You've got Rod Rust running the defense. And I really think that early on they were struggling. Raymond was calling the plays and not doing a very good job of it by his own admission. And I think the best thing that could have happened to Eason was that injury. Got Grogan back in there, fired him up a little bit, and now when Eason has come back, he's played much better than he did the first 5 games.
Patriots have a 3rd down and 9. The ball outside the 10-yard line. Collins, James are the running backs. They go slot left, Morgan in the slot, and it's James getting inside the 10. The outside linebacker, Crable, on the stop. And here comes Tony Franklin and the field goal unit. So Franklin, who missed from 41 just moments ago, 3 out of 4 on the day. Isn't it too cold to be kicking barefoot?
For me, you look at the Jet coaches, they've got those big boots on, but Tony is doing all right. I think I said a little earlier when he lined up to kick the other field goal that if he kicked it it would give them a 16-point lead. My math was wrong. They're ahead by 9. This would put them ahead by 12 and force the Jets to need 2 touchdowns.
It's Purdue, is that it? A 26-yard attempt for Franklin. And this one is right through. So Franklin has tied an NFL playoff record. He joins a number of others in the record book, kicking 4 field goals in a playoff game. 4 out of 5 for Franklin. And the Patriots with a commanding 26-14 lead on the Jets. 3 minutes, 13 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter, and if the Patriots hang on, they will face the Los Angeles Raiders next Sunday. Now, the Raiders and the Patriots met back in Week 4, and the Raider defense was the story of the game, accounting for 21 of the team's 35 points on a fumble recovery for a touchdown by Lyle Alzado. 2 interceptions returned for touchdowns by Lester Hayes and Sam Seal. That one by Hayes, and the Raiders beat New England by the score of 35-20.
And that was probably the worst game that Eason played all year. The longer he was left in, the worse it got, and Raymond said afterwards, he says, I probably should have taken him out, but ever since then, or since Eason has been back, it's been all uphill.
The kickoff by Franklin to Humphrey and Hector. Bobby Humphrey with a nice spin low. Franklin back, and it was Franklin able to hang in with some help. Franklin and Ed Reynolds stopping Bobby Humphrey.
I think the Patriots were offsides on the play, Marv, and obviously if that's the case, it would be declined.
Offside, number 43, kicking team, penalty decline.
Called on Ernest Gibson as we take another look at Bobby Humphrey.
Well, Humphrey coming up with a play when they need it. The Jets need 2 touchdowns to get back in this ball game. 43 misses the tackle. Gibson, after he was offside, gets down and gets a piece of it, but Franklin just gets in the way long enough to allow Reynolds, 95, to come up and make the tackle.
It's a 50-yard kickoff return, first down from the 45 in New England territory. Ryan fumbles. He was able to shut off the first tackler, and it's covered up. Jim Sweeney, the left guard, covering up. And Garen Veras, once again, was the force. And that will go down as a 28-yard loss. 2.5 left in this fourth quarter. Ryan goes sideline. Incomplete. Sent it for Walker. And this crowd, a capacity crowd of better than 76,000, filing out here in the fourth quarter as the New England Patriots are just putting the finishing touches to this wild card playoff victory. Folks headed toward the exits.
Got to give credit to Rod Russ and that defensive unit, the way they've played as a team, and also the offensive line for dominating the Jets defense.
Stopped short of the 30 by McGrew. And now the Jets are hearing it from the crowd as we close in on the 2-minute warning. 4th down and 34. And there is the 2-minute warning with the Patriots leading the Jets 26-14. We'll be back in a moment.
Alcoa presents Fantastic Finishes. 1972 desperation time for Dallas in the playoffs. Trailing San Francisco 28-13, Roger Staubach comes off the bench and hits Billy Parks on a nifty one up the middle. After a field goal following an onside kick, Staubach is back with a perfect strike to Ron Sellers in the end zone. The miraculous Cowboys score 17 points in the fourth quarter and steal a shot at the championship from the 49ers.
And our select committee has come up with the Budweiser most valuable player of the game. It's close between Garen Veras, who had 2 sacks and an outstanding effort, and Tony Eason, and we'll let the quarterback give the nod.
I think Eason, the way he played today. Veras had a great day and certainly benefits from the fact that he's playing next to Tippett, who gets a lot of attention. Eason came into this ball game needing a solid performance. The offensive line did their job by dominating the offensive line, the line of scrimmage, holding Klecko and Gastineau out of there, and Eason came through. He was steady when he needed to be. He hit Morgan on the long touchdown pass. He saw the blitz coming and checked off when he had to and directed the offensive running game.
So a very happy day for the president of the New England Patriots, Billy Sullivan, who has been shaking hands along the Patriots sideline. Tony Franklin, who hit 4 out of 5. Here's Pat Ryan on 4th down. And it's broken up. Schuler not able to hold on. Hit by Claiborne. A minute and 53 remaining in this fourth quarter. And the Patriots will take over down at the Jet 30. Another low-key day for Eason, but did what he had to do. Now, last week against Cincinnati, threw only 15 passes. Did not put it up that frequently. Had good balance today, but you saw those impressive statistics.
But he did a lot more in the first half, throwing for over 130 yards in the first half when he needed to. The circumstances of the second half with the special team fumble scoring into the end zone, he really didn't have to do a lot in the second half.
And the Patriots first down at the 30. Jets have 1 timeout left. And the Patriots will just attempt to walk through it with 1 minute and 48 remaining. And a penalty flag was tossed. So for Mark Gastineau, the 1985 season moving toward a conclusion. With the timeout, let's pause for these words. And there he is, the Budweiser most valuable player for today's game, quarterback Tony Eason of New England. And Budweiser will donate $1,000 to the United Way on behalf of the New England Patriots. Second down and 5 from the 25. 1 minute 48 remaining. New England leading the Jets 26-14. Next week, the New England Patriots will take on the Los Angeles Raiders at the Coliseum in L.A. On Saturday, the Cleveland Browns and the Miami Dolphins in Miami, starting at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Sunday, the Patriots face the Raiders. I'd like to thank our director, Ted Nathanson, producer, David Neal, our statistician, Joe Costanza, and our spotters, Mike Alver and Dan Regan. Clock running down to 1 minute remaining.
22 years ago today, Marv, on December 28, 1963, the Patriots played the first playoff game in their history against the Bills in Buffalo. The Patriots won that playoff game 26-8. A week later, they lost the AFC Championship game to San Diego 51-10, and certainly they hope their fortunes this year will be much better than the 1963 year.
So this only the second Patriot playoff game victory, doing it in the wild card against the New York Jets.
Billy Sullivan, one of the more personable owners in the National Football League.
And he is certainly enjoying it as the clock works down. We're down to 10 seconds remaining. For the New York Jets, the season is over. For the New England Patriots, it is back home to Boston tomorrow, and next they prepare for the Los Angeles Raiders. The Jets and the Patriots in the AFC Wildcard, and the Patriots have won it by the score of 26-14. We'll be back here at Giant Stadium in just a moment.
Do you know me? I'm one of the best-known cowboys in Texas. But a lot of people don't recognize me in a cowboy hat. So I just carry the American Express card. It can help you out in plenty of tough situations because you never know when you're going to be surrounded by redskins. Howdy.
To apply for the card, look for this display and take one.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
The story at Giant Stadium, the New England Patriots holding Freeman McNeil to 42 yards, 4 field goals kicked by Tony Franklin. It was Eason to Morgan on a 36-yard touchdown, and the big one, Johnny Redford with that fumble recovery. The kickoff return fumbled by Johnny Hector, and the Patriots move on to face the Raiders next week. They continue in the playoffs. Marv Albert with Bob Greasy. Patriots over the Jets 26-14. Join us for Bowl Day, 1986, New Year's Day.
A promotional fee has been paid to NBC by United Airlines. You're not just flying, you're flying the friendly skies.
This has been a presentation of NBC Sports, proud to be the network of Super Bowl 20.